All right, Matt Marsh here again with Luis Salcedo. I'll let him introduce himself and his title representing Cal South. But we're here at the Cal South Soccer Nation Expo and just capturing some interviews with some people that are making good decisions for the game of soccer in Southern California. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay. Hello, Luis Salcedo, Director of Membership Development for Cal South, here at Soccer Nation Expo at the LA Convention Center.
All right, Luis, so in your role, how long have you been in that role, and what's your favorite thing about being the Director of Development?
I've been with Cal South going on 7 years. I mean, there's a lot of positive things about my job since I've been there. Obviously, I love the game of soccer, get to be involved not just at the youth level, but the adult level, and get to see what the impact that soccer here in Southern California has, not just at the state level, but at the national and international levels. It's always, I feel proud that we have that footprint on a global basis.
All right, good. So you cover quite a large area as in your role, right? San Diego to San Luis Obispo. Can you tell us a little bit about what are the differences you find in San Diego, LA, Orange County, and San Luis Obispo? What are some of the different challenges you face in trying to build membership?
Well, as you know, down in San Diego, it's a soccer mad area for us, which is great. Soccer is very popular. It's got a long history and tradition of soccer players dating back to the Soccers and you name it. So a lot of rich tradition. Other territories like in San Luis Obispo, you know, soccer's starting to grow. You know, they don't have that heritage, but they're starting to build on that. They've got some great coaches, got some great recreational leagues. So, you know, they're developing some good teams. You know, they're not as big as they are in other territories, you know, but still, it's they're spread out a little bit more. Makes it a little bit more difficult, more travel. But you know, we are definitely making an impact. All I have to do is just look at the State Cup results, and you see how well the teams from the Central Coast are doing.
So, best case scenario, when it's called membership development, you think of you know, one player, one parent at a time. But is your focus more to get an entire league or an entire club, or take someone who's part of a different association and bring the whole group over to you? You know, what's your goal and focus in trying to, you know, to get large groups of players and membership over? How do you accomplish that? What are some things that you can offer to them as a representative of Cal South?
Well, basically what we try and do is educate people, educate them what Cal South is all about. Inform them about the different member benefits and services, different opportunities. I mean, soccer is for everybody, regardless of age, regardless of skill level. So it's just kind of trying to find out what people are looking for and match them up with the appropriate program. So it could be just an individual player looking for a team, or a coach looking for a club, or a parent looking, you know, to play an adult soccer team. So, so it's a little bit for everything. If there's always a big group, a club or a league, we're always more willing to help them out, you know, and provide some support and resources to get them on board with Cal South.
All right, now a little bit tougher question. What are your thoughts on the overall soccer environment in Southern California? What do you see as some of the challenges or areas that we need to focus on changing, or just to help the soccer environment become better? What do you see that the needs are and the things that can be better?
There's two key things. One is parent education. Sometimes parents are seeing the growth of the sport of soccer, but they're not familiar with it. They didn't play, their parents didn't play. So, you know, in most cases they don't know how to get their kids involved, you know, or how to select the proper level of, you know, a club, team, or recreational, or how to find the best coach. So I think that's one thing that, you know, some of our clubs do very well, some of the leagues do very well, but there's a lot of new people coming in the sport that don't have that, you know, knowledge. So one thing is just educating them on the different levels of rec, signature league, competitive club, ODP programs. Again, we got the college soccer club programs, and adult programs. So the other biggest issue we face is the sport is growing, and that's great for kids and adults, but we are seeing that there are not enough facilities, soccer facilities, whether it be outdoor fields or indoor futsal fields. There's a big demand, and there's just not enough supply. So that's one thing we're looking to how to identify and develop strategies to address those issues.
I don't know if you know the statistics overall, but maybe help us understand. You know how many members you have in Cal South, but what percentage of players would you say are playing soccer in Southern California compared to how many are playing within Cal South? What would you say the statistics are? Is it you guys have 25% of the market, 50%, 75% of the market, considering you have your AYSO and your unaffiliated groups? Where does Cal South stand in terms of the overall players playing in soccer? And I would include maybe even high school players in other areas.
Well, again, it's soccer is available to everybody. Statistics, like I said, we have over 160,000 players. Obviously, the market's much bigger. There is a lot of play at the younger levels, what we call unaffiliated leagues. There's a lot of soccer programs through nonprofit groups like the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. So some of those players participate in both programs. AYSO also has different, recreational soccer programs available. There's hundreds of adult leagues throughout Southern California. So it's a tough number to pinpoint, just because the only thing we can really track are the teams and the players that register with Cal South. But I think our growth has been very steadily since the last 10 years. We see that continuing. So I think eventually,
what were the numbers 10 years ago?
I would say over 10 years we were about 75,000.
Okay, so we've doubled in size.
Yes, we've doubled in size. So, and again, adding the adults, being more involved with referee training and certification helps. So, adults definitely is growing. Youth is growing. Before now, you see a lot of kids starting to play soccer at 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. You didn't have that before. They usually waited till they were 10 or 11. So there's a lot of growth, at the younger age groups as well.
Would you say that we're producing world-class players here out of Southern California? And if so, where? And if not, what can we do to change that?
Well, I think we are producing world-class soccer players here. Like I said, there's a lot of opportunities for player development. We have some great coaches at the rec level, the competitive level. They're doing a great job now, and I think it's getting the level of knowledge for the soccer coaches is definitely increasing, and that's being passed on to the youth. So we've been successful about getting about 30% of Southern California or Cal South players placed on national youth teams and the national men's and women's teams. If we continue to grow and develop players, I can see that growing, to a higher rate in the next decade. So, and again, you'll start seeing more players from Southern California that are pursuing opportunities in Mexico and overseas. So there definitely is, and what you'll notice more is, what I'm seeing is more international clubs are coming to Southern California to start to recruit and identify players. So I think that trend will continue to grow. Now they're realizing that we have quality players in Southern California.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that in SoCal Premier with Chivas USA joining our league, Corinthians USA. We got someone with Pumas Academy, and even a group from Italy, from Genova, coming trying to figure out how to tap the market here in Southern California. So that's the internationals trying to come tap the Southern California market. But what can we do more to tap that group of players to connect the adults and the youth, as well as to tap into those organizations that are not part of Cal South? I'm thinking more ethnic leagues. You have Hispanic leagues out there. You have some Asian-based leagues out there. What can we do to connect the youth and adult, and what can we do to tap into some of those other leagues that are not part of Cal South? And how can SoCal Premier help that?
SoCal Premier, I think, just starting up is a major step in that direction. You know, offering a structured league and providing access to teams that normally would not approach what we call Cal South or affiliated soccer. So that's one big step. The second step is, you know, training and education for coaches. You know, a lot of coaches don't have formal courses or training, and that's one thing that once they try the E-course, they realize there's a lot that they didn't know. You know, and they didn't know about the E course or the D course or the C, you name it, all the way to the A. And that's one thing is, I'm very proactive in not just training coaches that are out there coaching, but also reaching younger adults, you know, that are high school kids, try to promote that they start taking the E license. So even if they don't want to be a coach, at least they can become a better player.
How old do you have to be to get your coaching license?
You could be about 16 and a half.
So 16-year-olds can go out there and get their E-license.
Yeah. I mean, they can even start at 14 and get their youth modules,
really?
the 1 and 3, and they can start mentoring, you know, with rec programs. Obviously, you know, you really can't coach until you're an actual adult. You're 18-year-olds. That's when you actually get your coaching license, and that's when you're able to take your risk management requirement through Cal South. So, but again, coaching education is a major positive direction in not just being a better coach, but being a better development of our youth.
That's good to know. I'm actually a Cal South coaching instructor, and I didn't know that. I thought you had to be 18 to get your license. So I'm going to send my 16-year-old out to get his coaching license as soon as he can. So Luis, thank you for the time, and I appreciate you coming over to our SoCal Premier booth, and I'll go visit you at the Cal South booth and look forward to continue working with you.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it, Matt.
All right, thank you.